older.
Good. Good. All right, so let's start at the very beginning and just, what are some of your early memories? Just like how inseparable were the two of them?
Oh man, honestly, when you think of one, it's synonymous to think of the other. They really did everything together. And even growing up, like, they had the same outfits a lot of the time and just, like, looked up to the same people and just, they definitely were so similar. But at the same time, they had their oddities about each other that balanced themselves out, I think, But, yeah, they were definitely super close growing up, and they definitely helped each other grow up into the people they are today, that's for sure.
And did they have like their own separate language? Like how much of that twin bond?
Well, Elijah used to have a really strong lisp, so like Mike would be the translator sometimes. But yeah, as far as language, not really. But yeah, I suppose that just the lisp part was their little thing.
Did you ever confuse them? Was it hard to tell them apart when they were little?
Oh, no. I always knew exactly who they were, but it was interesting, like, watching people when we'd walk up, trying to, like, you could see their wheels, like, spinning, trying to figure out who was who before they, got up to them, But, yeah, I always was able to tell them apart.
Mom was saying Elijah was red and Micah was always blue.
Oh, their outfits? Oh, yeah. I honestly didn't even realize that until I was looking at the pictures. I'm like, you actually were color-coded when you were younger. Yeah.
What about football? How much have they, growing up, just always played on the same teams and always been teammates on that football field?
Yeah, they definitely always have played. I didn't realize Elijah actually had taken 1 year off, but yeah, always around the same teams. Like, they always used to love getting their ankles taped together. Like, I used to come back and tape their ankles for the games, and like they'd be like 9 years old, the only people out there just like having style, in Pop Warner. But yeah, they always were on the same team, just like both were like stars shining, But it was interesting to watch that from then until now.
And what about how competitive are they with each other?
Honestly, I wouldn't even say that they're competitive. I would say that they're more so like really supportive of each other, honestly. Like I've never honestly saw them even get in a really bad like tiff or argument with each other. They're just like, they're always on the same wavelength, I would say.
What about, they said it was high school that it emerged that one became offense and one became defense.
Oh, yeah.
What was, like, was that just a natural progression, or what's your take on them having...
Yeah, I think that was a natural progression. Because honestly, personally, we kind of wanted them to play both ways, like myself, my dad, and mom, just because it provides a better opportunity for recruiting and stuff like that. But they both just excelled on their both sides of the ball so well that it kind of just worked out that way, yeah.
Recruiting, did you think they'd end up going to the same school? Were you shocked when they went to different schools?
I was really shocked, yeah, when they went to different schools, yeah. I totally thought they were going to go to the same school because they had done everything together up until that point to the day where they had signed their letters of intent. That yeah, it was interesting to see, but I think it also was beneficial for both of them, because then they don't have to go to a school and be that twin. They can be their own individual selves,
How hard was that on them for the first time being separated?
Yeah, I think it was definitely hard. Yeah, it was hard, but I do think that they kind of reveled in that they didn't have to, get confused for a full 2 years with another person, or their brother. But they kept in contact like so often that I don't think it even felt like that far, And Stanford's not too far from San Diego State, so I think that also played a part in them not feeling too disconnected from each other.
They told me they shared a bed for a long time growing up, but then they had the opportunity to have separate bedrooms, and they still chose to not want to be in separate rooms.
Growing up, it was like when we were really young, it was all 5 of us in a 2-bedroom apartment, so it was them 2 in one bed, and luckily I got my own bed, but once we moved into a larger house, they still didn't even want to switch rooms, They still had like so much fun in their own room together. At least they had separate beds though, finally. That was good.
What was it like when you heard that Stanford and San Diego State were going to be playing each other?
I was thinking like, oh my gosh, like that's going to be just because like I feel like especially in Oceanside and like North County and San Diego, we just have so many great like friends and family friends, people we've competed against, like my brothers have competed with and stuff like that are just going to be at the game, that it's just like the hype has gotten so large at this point, and both being top 25 teams in the preseason, this game is going to be gigantic.
How much has that one just been circled for years?
As soon as we found it out, and since the first one's gonna be played in San Diego, and which will be Micah's definite last season, is just like it was divine intervention. It felt like it's so interesting, but it's gonna be. It feels like it almost came full circle, you know, for them to play with each other for so long, and then be able to be part of the small percentage of kids that play college football, and now they get to compete against each other as, you know, respectively a couple of the best players on each team, you know.
How weird is that gonna be?
It's gonna be weird for, I think, most of us, of our family in the stands, you know, just like it's gonna be so suspenseful, intense, but it's definitely gonna be a great match because they are competitive within themselves. But you know, I think it's gonna be a knockdown, drag out game, and I think that they're gonna compete really hard against each other. But at the same time, you know, they're gonna, you know, if one makes a nice play on the other, I think they're kind of there's gonna be some gloating out there for sure.